Hello, and welcome to another episode of Lost Like Mike. I am your host, Mike Gonzalez, and this is my second attempt to start the episode. I always am pretty honest when I do several takes. I started one earlier, and then my wife and daughter were here at the house, and they had planned to leave to go do some things. So I figured I'd get a jump start and start the episode, but then my daughter kind of came in and wanted to hang out, and maybe I'll show a little clip of that, but things got a little crazy pretty quick. Anyway, I wanted to do a recap of some different things and talk about a few other things this week. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for sending me messages at lostlikemike@gmail.com. First and foremost, the last episode, I couldn't remember most of the things that I talked about. I think I was pretty off the cuff on the last episode, just sort of spoke my mind, said whatever was on my mind and called it a day. But one of the things I did remember talking about was my hamster nut. My hamster nut is super old for hamster. They said it was pretty much the equivalent of being like 90 years old hamster. A little over 2.5 years old. But just wanted to give the update that Nut is still with us and eating well and having a good old time. So for all I know, Nut will be with us for another 6 months. Who knows? We've just decided to start making it a point to have Nut play in those rolly balls that Nut likes a lot. So as often as we can, hasn't really wanted to lately, but maybe that exercise will keep Nut with us a little bit longer. But got me thinking about pets that I've had in the past, and Nut's one of those pets that it's kind of like, I don't know. There's two different types of pets, in my opinion. The ones that are sort of lovey-dovey on you, and then the ones that are just like hanging out in their own little world, and you just kind of sharing your existence with them for a little patch of time. And that's one of those where he doesn't want to be held, doesn't want to hang out, doesn't want to do that kind of stuff, just wants to be left alone. And you can get, to a certain extent, you can get used to seeing this creature like inhabiting your world, but other than that, it's like it'll upset you in that sense, as opposed to, like, for example, my dog, who just gets on my last nerve all the time, but does, like I was taking some pictures of Willow, my dog, as a golden retriever, like occupying most of my day bed when I was napping, and she didn't leave my side the whole time. I mean, it made it kind of hard to fall asleep, but I'll try to remember to put a picture up, which I do apologize if you are somebody who likes to watch the podcast on YouTube as opposed to just listening to it on Spotify or Google Podcasts or anywhere you find podcasts. But I apologize for frequently saying I'll post a picture of this on the podcast, and then I forget when I'm editing it, and I just zoom past it. But yeah, I'll try to remember to put a picture of the dog, because I mean, it's cute unless you're the person trying to fall asleep, and it's just annoying. But I've gotten pretty good about falling asleep, with a giant monstrosity of a dog. Giant, and I apologize for that as well. No, probably to Willow herself. We took Willow down there to the vet because of the cut on her paw. We talked about that a little bit on the podcast about her breaking through the window like a savage. But one of the primary things that the veterinarian said was that our dog's fatty McFatness she was just eating way too much. And it's kind of easy to forget or to neglect that idea, because you could put out a full bowl of food for a golden retriever, or any dog for that matter, large breeds especially. And the second she finishes it, she'll just come right back and be like, cool, that was good. What now? Like, you have more food, or can I have some of what you're having? So we kind of got laxed and just started feeding the dog way too much. So it's been maybe a week two since the incident with the window, and then already she's dropped a ton of weight just by having like fixed amounts of breakfast and dinner. So that's cool. She does that. Yeah. But she's out sleeping on the couch right now. But it goes to show you, I should probably eat fixed amount of meals myself, right? It's a good idea to think about. I'm not sure if I talked about this update, but I'm going to state it because it's bothering me and it's really on my mind right now. A couple weeks ago, I had said that I had signed up for all these different events at my work. And for a field day. And we talked about different things like field days from when I was young and stuff. And I had volunteered to help set up the event and all that sort of thing. And I think the last update that I had, I said that, and if I'm not, then let's just take it as I'm discussing it right now. But I think in my last episode I talked about how they had all these tryouts for everything, and that I wasn't going to be able to try out for these different events, like the basketball and the 5K and the dodgeball and all these different sporting events. And I was kind of content at that and saying, oh well, sorry. And I don't know if I'd mentioned it before, but I'll mention it now, that I was, they said they had enough volunteers. So I was off the hook even for that. Like, they don't even have space for me to come volunteer my time to help. And that was the last, I think, that I had stated that. If not, then there it is. But I got a message this week saying that I will be, they will need me for the 5K. Not enough people signed up for the 5K run. And I was getting pretty like, oh yeah, I'm down to do all kind of sports. I was down to do everything. Yeah, but just, I didn't, because of whatever conflicts and, trying out and whatever, I wasn't going to be able to do it. Haha, But now it sort of called me out to say, what are you going to do now? And I was even saying that the 5K was going to be sometime at the end of May. And it's not. It's like 2 weeks from now. It's like, I think right now as I'm recording this, there's one more week in April, and it's at the end of the first week, so 2 weeks from now. And I was just sore going up and down the stairs yesterday, so running 3.1 miles is going to be interesting. And of course, like every other, situation that I put myself in, the first thing I do is YouTube, like, how to prepare for a 5K. And one of the first videos says, you come to the right place, start doing the following, set up the following regimens. You'll have a I think it was an 8 or 9 week regimen to get prepared. Don't be one of those guys who thinks that they could just prep for a couple weeks and be. I'm like, no, that is exactly who I am. I don't have to think I am. That's who I am right now. I'm just going to do it. So that's great. I'm super nervous about it now, but they did not need me for anything else. Didn't want me for volunteering or for any of the other sports. So, I mean, can you imagine if I can't even do the 5K and then I wanted to do the 5K and all these sports? Idiot. I mean, glutton for punishment I am. I'll tell you what. But speaking of marathons or sprints or, I'm now recording this. I'm currently recording this on a Sunday. I may have mentioned that where I'm at, where I live, they're having a week-long celebration. I think it's a 2-week-long celebration. Where there's going to be festivities going on, events all around downtown, and so I am performing 11 shows in the next 9 days, 10 shows in the next 8 days. Yesterday I did day 1, today I do day 2. I did a show during the day, and then I did a rehearsal for a rock show that I'm doing at the end of it all. Well, I say the end of it all, but it's like the highlight of because I am going to play the day after my normal show on Sunday, which is the 11th show. But there's nothing really cool about that show. I'm doing one on Saturday night. I'm headlining a stage with a rock band, so it's going to be pretty cool. But that was what I was rehearsing for yesterday. But we're doing, 4-hour shows. There's my regular show. And then I'm doing 5-hour shows on Tuesday and Wednesday. And then I'll be performing from from like 7 hours, because I'm going to play one show and then I'm going to run across town, do another show. And it's funny because you become hyper aware of like the signals of getting sick and like the well-being of like everything. Like for me, it's real high allergy season. So, I'm taking vitamin C pills and lung health pills and stuff. But I woke up with a little tickle, like a cough in my throat, and it's like, no, man, I can't go down that path. You start freaking out. and that's where I'm at. Like singing the shows, every time I feel like a little scratch or like I don't feel like, I think, oh well, it makes me think that it's in terror of what's going to be like on day 5, or I can only imagine. But I plan on doing a recap with y'all next Sunday, and letting you know how it goes. Yesterday's show was pretty great. We've been really hitting a groove in the acoustic duo that I'm in with my cousin Vince. We've been real brave recently, playing songs when people request them, like for good or bad. We just we've been really willing to try and push our boundaries, and um, he has a really good attitude as far as like the original. I mean, the rock show. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I mean, it's all everything that we've talked about in terms of like the rock show that we're doing. Again, it's not, they're not buying tickets to see me play. It's just we're performing for whoever happens to be in the crowded festivals downtown, you know. So one thing we talked about that sort of made sense to me, and I think it's sort of is something that you can translate to different aspects of your life, is and it's so hard to keep in mind, but it really matters, is just to maintain the knowledge that if you're performing for yourself, it's like, if you think about Jim Henson, okay, and the Muppets, and this is so stupid, but this makes sense to me, okay? At the end of the show, whenever the band would play, okay, whenever the Muppets would finish a song, they would look at each other and they would nod their heads like, yeah, that was cool. That was good. Yeah, that was good. Like, go back and watch, especially if you're too young to remember the Muppets, just go look up like the Muppets, any Jim Henson Muppet performance with the band, and at the end of it, they'll nod at each other and they'll be like, yeah, that was good. It doesn't matter if there was nobody in the audience or whatever. That sort of encompasses, like, it sort of encapsulates where my mind is at, like, currently, in terms of like performance. Like, I'll sing a song and I couldn't care less. Like, I'm really trying to focus on the fact that it doesn't matter, because it's so hard to, you know, to not be affected by a lack of validation or whatever. But so sometimes I'll look over at events and I'll nod my head like, yeah, that was good, right? That was good. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Because I don't think that people get it a lot of times. Oh, what was it recently? It was, what was this? Yeah, I don't know. We did one recently and I sang the hell out of a song, and then somebody was like, oh, yeah, totally. Can you do some Kanye West now? And I sort of look at him like sideways, like I just belted out a song, and then you look at me standing here with a guitar, like an acoustic guitar, and I guess there's some artists out there that do versions of that kind of stuff, but anyway, it's hard when people want to just have a joke about it. You know what I mean? Like if you came to the show waiting for your opportunity to interject like your request for Sir Mix-a-Lot, then cool, I get it. You know, you've been brought up to think that that's where the height of entertainment is. I get it. It's fine. And I participate in some of that every now and then. You know, if you want to say Sweet Caroline or Benny and the Jets or something, and want to participate and be, you know, we're all here for a good time. But I just, I guess my point is that they're not going there, turning around from their chairs going, did you hear his voice? You know, they're turning around and saying, I wonder if I can get this guy to do some hip hop rap. Like, maybe if we're really nice and put some $5 Like I had this guy yesterday, and he goes up to the thing, to the tip jar, and he has a bill in his hand, and he pointed at me and he said, "Don't stop believing, Journey." And he drops it and he points at me like, "Cool." Points down at the tip. And I'm like, "Yeah, dude. No thanks. I don't want to do that song." And he's like, "Well, do any Journey song." And I'm like, "All right, Steve Perry. I guess it's super easy to sing Journey according in your world." We ended up doing "Don't Stop Believing," but I told Vince before we started the song, I said, if it's the right night and you have the right crowd, then you can do "Don't Stop Believing." Like, you even hear my voice right now, it sounds a little bit like hoarse, like just a touch of hoarseness to it. It's because I'm singing a lot. So it's like I told the guy, yeah, it's Fiesta Week, man. I'm doing like a bajillion shows. I don't want to be singing like, I mean, you know, I don't want to push myself to and break myself, you know? Like, can we compromise and not sing a wailer of a song that's out of my range on a normal day? You know what I mean? But anyway, no, the point is, if you have the right crowd, then you can be like, sing a line, and then when it goes to the high parts, you point out at the audience, and they like are happy to sing the line. And that's half the fun, is getting a crowd full of people to sing the parts you don't want to sing. You know what I mean? Especially on that song. Because it's, you know, it's really high. The guy's got a high register. Who gives a it's the way it is. But I told Vince, I said, I'll do it, but this crowd's not ready for it yet. It's like 2:00 on a Saturday. They're not even anywhere near drunk enough to get down, you know? And sure enough, you know, somewhere in the, and then you hear like one guy in the back go, "Night." And like, but I'm not going to sing the note. I mean, some of these notes, because anyway, if you know, you know. But sometimes it can make a show, like, you know, singing like "Living on a Prayer" from Bon Jovi, and normally you wouldn't even bother trying to sing the notes, but you hit the chorus and the crowd sings it for you, and it's just a lot of, they're having fun, and that's what it's all about, you know? Anyway, I'm not really, we'll see where I'm at, like, come Tuesday or Wednesday, because that's where, you know, we really hit those long shows, and next week I'll tell you how it all goes. It'll be fine. I'll be fine. You know, yesterday I went to a garage sale, to some garage sales, neighborhood garage sales or what have you. You know, I don't know where you live or how things go where you're at, but people got that down to a science here. Like, they know I'm talking about the people that go shopping at garage sales. You know, you hear like the early birds get the worm, whatever. I mean, I see these people, and they have, by 9:30, 10 o'clock, they have a pickup truck just full of bikes and dishwasher. I mean, just random stuff, all like bungee corded, you know, piled super high with like bungee cords all around. It almost makes it not worth it to go garage selling, because it's like buying tickets for a concert through Ticketmaster. It's like, the fix is in, man. Like, how are you supposed to operate it's not fair. I don't know if they have an inside and they know where the good ones are at. But anyway, so we went to this one garage sale, neighborhood one, and we were finding some really lucky ones. It's hard going with, I go with my wife and my daughter, and we operate on two different speeds. My wife can drive by a garage sale and eyeball it for 2 seconds and be like, no, I don't even want to stop there. I'm good. And I can do that to an extent as well. You know, when you're pulling up and it's nothing but like baby clothes and like a high chair and like I get it. There's nothing there for me. I get it. But I mean, she can look at the vast ones, like the ones with like the big, boxes with random stuff and but also she's able to, she's in and out. Like, I'm good, nothing, all right, I'm out. And me, I like to treasure hunt. I like to like get down in some stuff, and I like to find those really good deals that are not like just out in the open. But it is an art form. Because you get to see different styles of people. Like, I went to this one garage sale, and I overheard the guy saying to a couple people, like, if anybody wants to join me, I'm going to go to my storage in the back. And me, that's music to my ears. That's like saying, oh, this is not for everybody. This is like an exclusive thing. Oh, we're going to go check some stuff out. Oh, cool. And we went to the back, and he had this shed. It was like this big shed. And I was gathering by the way that I was seeing things that they were moving. Like, I was kind of putting clues together. And I see a lot of things in this shed. And I heard this one guy say to him, all right, what's for sale here? And the guy says, everything. And like, I got it, started getting excited because it was all these tools and items. And I thought, surely he's not selling that, these bigger equipment and odds and ends, right? Well, and I saw this one, it was like a pressure washer, right? And so I didn't point at that because I thought, well, he's obviously not talking about that. So I started with this wall of like gardening tools. And I said, well, how much for these shovels here? Name a price. And I said, for all of them. And I said, well, and they still had the sticker on them. It was not like a price sticker, but they still had like the on one of the shovels had the plastic wrap on it, like hadn't been used. And like there was like by them one shovel's like $30 or whatever. So I said, well, I'll give you $20. Kind of side looked at him like, and he's like, okay. And there was maybe 3 or 4 guys there. So all of a sudden I thought, this guy is down, dude. So I just started grabbing like rakes and like, whatever I could put my hands around, and like, I said, I'm going to make a pile. All right. And then we'll talk about a fair price at the end. All right. And I started piling all this stuff. I mean, I think I gave the guy like $30 for a ridiculous amount. I mean, I was holding it like a bushel, like this giant, like a bunch of stuff of shovels and an axe and just, I mean, I wanted to give the guy a hug at the end, but he was just happy because he didn't have to load up all this garbage. I think they were. I honestly think they were moving. But there's that kind of garage sale that I like, where you find a deal and you find somebody who's down and you find like a situation where you feel like you're winning something, right? And then there's the other kind where the people act like they own their own store, and you're going into the store. It just happens to be in the front yard, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that is $10," and you're like, "Well, you mean like I could get this at the store for like $9.99, you know? Oh, it's new, it's brand new, okay, yeah, but it's an effing garage sale, friend. Like your table is like a picnic table, and it doesn't even have like a tablecloth. It's got like paint stains on it. Like, are you serious right now? Like, all right. Or like the people that, I mean, like, I love those that are just like, it's a box of garbage, and they're like, how much is this? And they're like, I don't know, give me $5 for the box if you want to take it all, or whatever. Stuff like that. I mean, anyway, flash forward. Yesterday we were going, and we went to this one yard, and the guy had all these like vintage Barbie dolls. I mean, they were still fairly priced, I think, if, all things considered, but he wanted like $5 per each one of these dolls, which is not expensive, but something about it kind of just rubbed me the wrong way. Yet, have you ever met somebody who like, I don't know, like giggles when they talk? It's the most suspicious thing ever. It's like, how much are these dolls? $5. It sounded weird. It was just this weird guy. But God bless him, he's probably normal. It's just, it wigged me out. Everything he was saying was, oh, you have a nice day. Ugh. I think sometimes of the things that I must do that are annoying, or like the idiosyncrasies of that I have that other people witness or see, like, who knows. But I thought that he kind of looked like the bad guy mouse from Mickey Mouse anyway. So I know it's a prejudice to sort of see somebody and judge them without letting them, but sometimes you get a feel. I mean, he's one step away from having like a menacing laugh. I mean, if I was telling a joke, okay, but I just asked you how much this doll was, you know what I mean, or whatever. We went to another house, and it was this lady, and I was sitting in the car because this was one for them. It was a lot of toys, and my daughter was like, I want to go home right now. And then we pull up on a house with like all these giant like Barbie houses, and she's like, never mind. I may have spoke too soon. I retract my former request. Anyway, they got off, and I said, well, I'm just going to watch the car so that y'all can have an out, that the car's running, we got to go. And this lady was putting out all these toys and cleaning out the garage, and like a true garage sale style setup where she had areas, but she was constantly bringing more and more items out. And they were finding a couple items. And she called to me like, hey, and I was like, what's up? And she had her arm full of like these different toys and things that she was going to use for her classroom. And, so as I hop down and I go down, she said, we're going to buy these items, but we're still looking around because they have very good prices, right? I was like, cool. But as I'm walking by saying, well, pay for these and I'll take these back to the car, I overhear the lady who's running putting stuff down. She says, I don't want to take anything back inside today. Like, once I'm cleaning out this garage, I mean, and that's like what you're looking for. We're looking for somebody who's like, they just as soon you tell them, hey, look, I'll give you $20. I'll clean all this out. You know, I'll do you the favor and I'll clean all this out. You don't have to worry about it. If you go at the right time, right at like when the sun starts kind of beating down on them and they just really don't want to be there anymore, and like they just as soon call it a day, and then make them a fair offer and say, look, I'll just give you $20 and I'll get rid of all this junk for you. But we did find an American Girl doll, and those are like expensive, but it had some marker on it, and which we were able to clean off, but whatever. And we bought it for $5, which is really cheap. Really good deal. Okay, I don't even know why I said all that, because what I was trying to get to was that I went to this one house, and I'm looking around, and I see a guitar bag. Whenever I see any kind of instruments, I get excited. I want to find with it. But I found a guitar amp, and I was like, hey lady, how much for the guitar amp, whatever. And she was telling me a story about how her son wanted to learn how to play guitar, bought this brand new amp, guitar, and was like gonna start learning how to play it, and just never got around to it. Just didn't want to do it after all. And so it's like a $200 amp. I think. I mean, it varies. I have to look it up. Like, but it is. It's brand new. I mean, it's really clean, and I got it for really cheap. But then, so then I take it home, and I plug it in, and it starts making all these weird noises and being very bad. Oh, I was so mad. I was like, I got duped, man. But it turned out that it was a bad cord that I found in the compartment. And the second part was that I was just not very savvy with it. Like, when I went to my rehearsal with the guys, I talked to one of the guys in the group about finding this item at a garage sale, and like, oh yeah, man, that's a good amp. That's the amp I had, or when I played whatever. You got to push this button, do this, and that's how you actually use it. The channel switch, and I just try to retain as much information as I could from what they were saying. And when I came home this morning, I did what they said to do. And I tried a brand new cord on it that I found in the compartment, and it works. It's fine. I just, like they used to say back in the day, first you have to be smarter than the item. So yeah, now I'm smarter than the item. But it was a good day all around for buying stuff and having fun. Yeah. I don't know. It's one of those things. Sometimes I enjoy garage selling, sometimes I don't know what it is. It's stupid, but sometimes it's fun. It's like treasure hunting, you know what I mean? It's like you have equal opportunity to find garbage, and then also to find, one man's trash, which is another man's treasure. But anyway, I look forward to giving you an update next week. And I had a good time. I'm going to just try to take care of myself, not get sick. And that's about it. Y'all take care this week, and peace safe, and I'll see you next time. All right. Take care.